Right now on Up with KREM, could Spokane County move back to phase 2? This morning, we take a look at the real-time numbers.
The CDC says the B.1.1.7 variant of the coronavirus is now the dominant strain across the country. However, Washington officials want to focus on rising cases in young people.
We are seeing younger people that are getting infected more than previously.
We hear more from the Washington Secretary of Health coming up.
And we take you outside on a windy and rainy start to the day. We'll let you know what happens later on this afternoon.
Up with KREM begins now.
Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. The governor of Idaho has banned vaccine passports. So this morning, we've been hearing from you. You're taking a look at all these responses you've responded to us. Should places be able to ask for a vaccine passport before letting you travel or go inside a building? Some people are saying absolutely not. Others are saying yes, I'd like to know if people around me have been vaccinated. So these are coming in real time through social media and our texting line 509-448-2000. I know a lot of you have some opinions about this. We have had a poll on social media as well, and the percentage of you, most of you are saying yes, you do believe that a vaccine passport should be in effect. So of course we're going to be tracking this as other states ban and also look to make this a thing for their travelers.
Yeah, I love seeing people text in. We're getting a lot of responses, so keep them coming in, and we'll talk about your responses a little bit later in the show. In the meantime, it is Friday Eve. I got you. It's not Friday yet, but we do. It sounds like today's not the greatest day to get outside, but Jeremy, will that change in the coming days?
I mean, yeah, and you know, Tim, you just got to maybe throw on the raincoat this morning. Maybe throw on that extra layer too, because despite temperatures being on the mild side, it is a little bit rainy and it is a little bit windy. We're sitting in the 30s this morning. It says the sun's peeking out in Spokane. Don't entirely buy that because I was standing outside on South Hill and it was windy and rainy. 36 in rain in Coeur d'Alene, 36 in Sandpoint. When you get to the lee side of the Cascades, you're seeing a little bit of sun, and that is from downsloping and the winds out of the west. Our wind does start to die down later on today. I think about the time our precipitation comes to an end, the wind dies down, but we will see some isolated cells with a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow in higher elevations, and along with that comes the light gusts of wind. But notice the moisture is starting to work its way out. There will be a little resurgence of it a little bit later on, so don't think we're done with it just yet, but I do think that we are done with a bulk of it. We'll hang on to some of those isolated and scattered showers through the morning, and then this afternoon start to clear out. I think we see a little bit of sun later on today, but temperatures stay a little bit cooler. We're up near 50 degrees a little later on, even in the low 50s. But I'm telling you, with just the way today works, it is going to feel like a rather cool 50 degrees. It's one of those days where despite the sun and the warm temperatures, this morning rain will have it feeling cold for much of the day.
The murder trial of fired Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will continue today. A use of force expert testified Chauvin had his knee and most of his weight on George Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes.
He was not attempting to resist, and the pressure that was being caused by the body weight could cause positional asphyxia.
There was also extensive testimony about Floyd's use of drugs, including whether video of his arrest shows him saying he doesn't do drugs or that he ate too many drugs. Prosecutors replayed the video from an earlier point, saying it's open to interpretation. We're going to continue our live coverage of this trial this morning on the CW22. Starting at 11 a.m. today, vaccines will be available on a walk-up basis at the arena. The Washington State Department of Health tweeted this out last night. Now, this is for people eligible for the vaccine right now. Walk-ups will be available until 6:30 p.m. tonight. Now, if you can't make it today, there are also many appointments available over the next week. You can sign up for a vaccine on the Safeway website.
Let's get to by the numbers now. Spokane Regional Health Officer Frank Velasquez told us Spokane County was close to moving back to phase 2. So I want to break down the real-time numbers for you from the Department of Health in Washington State. This is a map showing you who is moving, where county numbers stand right now and where they need to go. So right now you can see the green means that counties are meeting the goals. Red means they're not. So not great in eastern and central Washington. Right now, this is the new case rate. Spokane County is currently meet the goal. If we take a closer look, right now the case rate is 160.5 per 100,000 people. That number needs to stay below 200 in order to stay in phase 3. Now, that's not the case for Whitman County. If we take a look at Whitman County right now, they're at 243, so above that number. The concerning part for Spokane County, though, is if we look at hospitalization rate. Hospitalization rates need to stay below 5 in order to stay in phase 3. Otherwise, we could move back to phase 2. So you can see Spokane County not meeting the goal in red right now. Our current case rate, or hospitalization rate, I should say, is 6.4 per 100,000 people, not meeting the goal. So again, we will be evaluated on Friday on whether or not we will move to phase 2 or stay in phase 3, and then we'll find out on Monday. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. You can always track this map on KREM.com.
Thanks, Tim, for breaking that down for us. Now, the CDC says the B.1.1.7 variant of the coronavirus is now the dominant strain across the country. The variant was first found in the UK and is considered more contagious and more deadly. The scientists say they are especially worried because they're seeing clusters of cases in people younger than 17 years old. Here in Washington, the UK strain is not the predominant strain. However, Health Secretary Umar Shah says that youth coronavirus cases are on the rise.
We are seeing younger people that are getting infected more than previously. And I think it's just the key reminder is that we're not out of the pandemic.
Number 2, Governor Brad Little signed an executive order Wednesday banning all state government entities from requiring so-called vaccine passports. These would be proof of COVID-19 vaccination for citizens to receive public services or access to facilities. There are similar orders in Texas and Florida right now. We're going to hear more about this story in our next half hour. And number 3, the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department, along with community partners, now offers an in-home COVID-19 vaccination program. For the next 3 weeks, this program helps any homebound citizen and their direct care providers. All someone has to do is call to schedule an appointment. There is no cost to the individual for getting the vaccine. The crew will consist of an EMT from Coeur d'Alene Fire Department along with a volunteer. They will drive to the home of the individual and administer the vaccine on site. There will also be an ongoing assessment of the need after the first 3 weeks of the program.
Live music is steadily returning to Spokane, and one of our favorite spots reopened just last night. After the break, what the bar has in store for tonight. And there are more live acts coming back to Spokane. Coming up in our next half hour, the newest artist to announce a tour coming to the Spokane Arena.
And of course, we're going to take you outside, talk a little bit of rain and wind this morning, snow up in the mountains. But later on today, changes in the works. I'll let you know what that means as we head into the weekend.